Hello, 7th grade. This is Mrs. Lopez. We are working on our Module 3, Lesson 23 now, Surface Area of Prisms. Yesterday we learned how to find surface area of rectangular prisms for the most part. Today we are working with more different types of prisms. So how do I find the surface area of a prism? First, I want to find the area of each surface and then add them all together. So we'll find areas of each surface and add them all together. That's the fundamental principle of all the surface areas. Just to review from yesterday, how do we find the surface area of this rectangular prism? We have 6 faces in the rectangular prism. We have front, back, top, bottom, left, and right sides. Okay, so we'll need to find the areas of each of these sides, each of the faces. They're called faces. So let's look at front. This is a front 9 by 3. So we'll multiply 9 times 3. And that is going to be 27 inches squared. The front is the same as the back, so it's also 27 inches squared. For the top we have 9 by 5. So 9 times 5 is 45 inches squared. And bottom will be the same, 45 inches squared. And left and right, we have 3 by 5. 3 times 5 is 15. And this one is as well 15 inches squared. And now we just add them all together. So here we have 90, 120, 120 and 54, 174 inches squared. This is our surface area of this rectangular prism. Now let's look at the triangular prism. Why is it called triangular prism? Is because the bases of this prism are the triangles. And how do I find which one is the base? The base is usually in rectangular prism, any shape, any face can be the base. We can put it any way we want. But here in the prism, we have only 2 faces that can be the base. And in the triangular prism, it's very simple to see because only 2 faces are the only triangles we have. That's why it's called triangular prism, based on the bases of the prism. We have front and back, and those will be our bases. And then we have bottom, and then we have left and right side. Left and right side. So there are 5 faces altogether. However, we still have 2 bases, and the prisms are characterized by the 2 bases: front, back, bottom, left, and right. Okay, so how do I find the area of the front? This is a triangle. We are using the formula for the area of the triangle: 1/2 times base times height. So we'll multiply 1/2. The base is 12, the height is 5. 12 times 5. I can simplify 12 and 2, and 6 times 5 is 30 centimeters squared. Since I have this area of the base, I can also have the back. The back is going to be exactly the same. We are not looking for 13 as a number right now because it's the 1/2 of base times height. We are looking for this right angle. The base is 12, the height is 5. So it's also 30 centimeters squared. Bottom part. Bottom part is 12 by 10, and this is a rectangle. So 12 times 10, and that is 120 centimeters squared. We don't have any other shape face that is exactly the same size. We will have to find areas of all the sides right now, all the faces. Next one we have left. Left is this one. The measurements are 10 by 5. 10 times 5 is 50 centimeters squared. And then we have right side, which is 13 by 10. That's where we need that 13. 13 by 10, and that is 130 centimeters squared. Now we will add them all together. And so we will have 60, 120, 180. 180 and 50 is 230. 230 and 130 is 360. 360 centimeters squared. Um, okay, just give me a minute to check it very quick. 60 and 120 and 50 and 130. Yes, 360 centimeters squared. Okay, next one we have trapezoidal prism. Trapezoidal prism is characterized by the two bases that we have, and those bases are in the shape of a trapezoid. So as we talked earlier, we can split our trapezoid into two triangles and one rectangle, but that is going to be too much work. So I will show you the area of the trapezoid right now. It'll be just a lot easier for us to use that formula to figure out the total surface area of this prism. So the area of a trapezoid, we can find it by adding the two bases of the trapezoid, which are the bases are the ones that height can be drawn to with the right angle, right? So it's the top line and the bottom line usually that are parallel lines. So we are going to add those together. So I will say base 1 plus base 2. And I'm going to average them. To find the average, I will add them together and divide by the number of the bases I have. And I have two bases, so I will divide them by 2. And then I will multiply it by the height. So I will write times height. Run out of space here. So the average of the bases times the height. That's how we find the area of the trapezoid. So we have two bases that are the same, front and back. Front and back. Then we have bottom and top. But notice they will be different in the measurements because the top is a lot smaller than the bottom based on the bases of the trapezoids that we have. And then we have left and right side. Okay, so the front, how do I find the area of the front? The front is the trapezoid, and I'm going to use the formula for the trapezoid. How to find the area of the trapezoid is average of the bases times the height. The bases are 12 and 6, so I will do 12 plus 6. I will divide that by 2 to find their average, and the height of each trapezoid is 4 centimeters. That's the height of our prism, times 4. What I can do is I can simplify 4 2, and 12 plus 6 is 18, and multiplied by 2 is 36 centimeters squared. That is a lot faster than finding each triangle and each rectangle within the trapezoid. Okay, so back is going to be exactly the same because the bases are the same, 6 and 12, and the height is the 4. So I will just write the answer here, 36 centimeters squared. Now we have the bottom part. The bottom is 12 by 10, and it's a rectangle, so 12 times 10, 120 centimeters squared. The top is 6 by 10, so it's 6 times 10, 60 centimeters squared. And then we have left and right. We have 5 by 10 and 5 by 10. So they're going to be exactly the same. 5 times 10, 50 centimeters squared, and 50 centimeters squared. So now I'm adding them all together. So we have 36 and another 36 and 120 and 60 and 50 and another 50. And that is 300 right here. 352 centimeters squared. Okay? All right, that's pretty much it. So right now you will see the exercises and there is no homework part of this. So I will just leave it up to you to do the exercises. You will see the rectangular prism. You will see the triangular prism. You will see, and I think there is one trapezoidal prism.